Hello, cherished viewers. I welcome you to Histo Life. My name is Michael Fiado and I'm your host for today's interview. I have here with me a very special guest who knows so much about history, and on this channel we share history of Ghana and then Africa in general. So I have here with me a very special guest. I would like him to introduce himself. I won't talk much. He will introduce himself and then we go with it. Okay, so welcome to the channel.
Thank you. I am John Alagba, a 72-year-old man, a retired educationist.
Okay.
Yes, a retired educationist. I happened to complete my training college in 1969 at the Aburi Methodist Training College, and happened to be posted to the Bronga-Hafo region in the same year, September. So I happen to know the political history of this country. I was in college when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, my first year in college, when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown on the 24th February 1966.
Okay.
And
so, okay, very good. I mean, that is basically a brief introduction of yourself.
Yeah, yes.
That's very good.
Yes.
I mean, I was having a conversation with you earlier, and then you made mention of Ghana's education system. And you said something.
Yes,
while I was discussing with you, you made mention of
free
education in Ghana. You said you made mention of how free education came about in Ghana first.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would like you to share with our cherished viewers how free education came about in Ghana.
Okay. I know you are all learned young men.
Yeah, sure.
And if you go down into the history of Ghana, it was in 1951 that Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president or prime minister of this country, became the leader of government business, as we call it, prime minister of sorts. Before then, education affairs in this country were in the hands of the missionaries. And then we have only few government schools. Missionaries were responsible for the paying of teachers, running the schools in general. But when Kwame Nkrumah became prime minister or leader of government business, he actually brought on board all educational institutions in this country, both mission established schools and that of the government, under one umbrella. And then his government decided to pay to all teachers. Formerly, missionaries were paying their teachers according to their resources. But Kwame Nkrumah brought all teachers under one umbrella. That's how government taking over Ghana's education began. 1951.
1951.
51.
Okay, that is very good.
And then this an impromptu this national brought the records to you. So we have some statistics.
As time goes on, you will show the records.
The statistics are there. 1951. 1951. We have only one university, that University of Ghana, about 200 students.
Just 200
students.
Wow.
So the primary and middle school that we had in the country were inadequate. So he came out with a policy known as the accelerated educational policy. The word accelerate means to increase. If you ever heard of this accelerated educational policy, is to increase the number of educational institutions, both primary and middle schools. And he did a lot in that regard. First of all, by absorbing payments of teachers of all categories of institutions, missions, and then in addition, he saw to the creation of more educational institutions, primary, middle schools, and some secondary schools. He also went to the extent of establishing Kumasi College of Technology. Yes, that was 1951. So the accelerated educational policy, that increase in the educational institutions in Ghana, started in 1951 by Kwame Nkrumah.
And so then this is about how education system started.
Yes.
Okay, so as we dive into how the free education came.
So and then when the country became independent in 57,
okay,
the 1960 Constitution, that is the Republican Constitution, it was made clear that free compulsory basic education being a universal declaration of human rights requirement.
Okay.
Yes, should be established. And Ghana was the only country in the world.
In the world. Not even in Africa.
No, not in Africa.
Wow.
To embark upon that in 1964 by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and I happened to benefit from it. I attended middle school free. We only walk into the classrooms to the school. Your books given to you, all type of books, educational material given to you free of charge, and with no payment of school fees. Yours is to attend school, and that's how it began.
Okay.
Yes, free primary education, both primary and middle school. And then that of secondary schools, and there were some interventions. Sixth form. Those days we have fifth form. Form 5, and then those who did well entered sixth form, 2 years before they entered the university when they qualified. Sixth form 2 was free.
Wow.
Sixth form was free. And then the secondary and technical education, the boarding, we have day facilities and boarding facilities. Boarding facilities, government intervention was about 1/3. 2/3, you say boarding, your parents have to pay the some feeding. Education is costly anyway, so those who have money to send their children to, they say yes. So that intervention was there at least secondary school you pay. And then free education. When you are talking of free education, you are talking of tuition. Tuition was absorbed by government. All colleges in Ghana, training colleges, secondary schools, the master, the tutors were paid by government, not by parents. That's free education. When you are talking of free education, you are talking of tuition and not boarding and lodging.
Yeah, sure.
You understand it?
Yes,
there's
exactly.
the distinction between boarding and lodging and free education. Free education, when government embarks upon free education, it means he's paying for tuition. He's in charge of paying to you. You don't pay your teachers. Facilities in the school, those what do you call electricity and what not, government absorb them. You understand it? Yes, but leaving some to other hands. That's free education. So that year, 1964 onwards, these things were free. Secondary, sixth form, as I told you, was free. And then the universities too were free. You just pass your A level.
So you have given us a history starting from how the education system was formed. And then who made it free. So basically, from what you said, you said it's Kwame Nkrumah who made education free for the first time in Ghana. Okay, very good. So why did it stop? Why did the free education stop?
Yes, in soon after the overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah in 1966. In fact, I was a beneficiary of that free system of education because book allowances were being given to us. But after his overthrow, and then we students in colleges or institutions were made to demonstrate in support of the coup. I demonstrated in support of the coup at Aburi. That one is a different thing. After that, the budget statement that came by the military junta, the NLC, or that it was unwise to continue to pay students in training or to continue with the free education. So free education gradually was scrapped off. I mean, middle and primary schools, people were made to pay some small amount for the books. It was minimal anyway. But it was hard at that time for people
to be able to afford.
And then university education, the free education was cancelled. And what mattered very much was that the reason they gave, according to, let us forget, the NLC, the chief advisor, the principal chief advisor to NLC, were the former president Edward Akufo-Addo, the former president of this country, and then Dr. Buzia.
Dr. Buzia.
They were the political advisors to the NLC government.
Okay.
Yes. So when Buzia became the prime minister, he continued with that policy by cancelling the free university education.
Okay, so what was his reason for cancelling it?
Yeah, the reason was that they said the student population of this nation was growing, and it will not be possible for government to be paying, to be taking care of students.
Okay, so in a nutshell, it was costing government a lot of resources to be able to accomplish that.
Yes,
okay.
That was the reason.
Okay.
And then when the student cry foul of this, because some of them are from poor homes, then he brought about the, what we call it, what did I say? The loan scheme.
The loan scheme.
It was instituted by.
Okay, we'll get to the loan scheme later. So now, this is what is on board right now. It means that the free education was cancelled then because the resources were not able to contain the amount of students in the institutions. You understand? So but then we have free education now with our president, His Excellency Akufo-Addo. He has made free SHS free once again. So I mean, if it was cancelled then because of how it will cost the government, don't you think it will cost this current government the same way it cost the government back then?
Yeah, well, in actual fact, when he came out with the idea in 2011, I was the person who came out with a write-up, insight into Ghana's educational policies, the antecedents, and it was published by a paper. And I was interviewed on Adom FM. So I was advising him that the father's wisdom, in fact, the wisdom of the father was very good, because the population of students then, Legon was 2,000 or so and so. Yes, now the student population of this country is less. So it will be an albatross on the nation's neck.
Wow.
Free education will be an albatross. That's the word I use.
Wow.
And it is not something that can continue forever.
Yeah. You see? And we are already having the effect.
Yeah, the effect.
We are already seeing the effect.
So me, I see that policy as not being the best, even though it sounds politically, it's good that you are taking.
So since you are very knowledgeable about all these, what advice, like what would you suggest that they do to solve all these problems? Because we can't have free SHS, just free SHS having a huge effect, a negative effect like this on our economy. So what would you suggest they do? Should they cancel it? And if they cancel it, what will happen to excuse me to say, our poor parents and the less privileged ones who don't have the money to further their wards education?
I am talking as a professional teacher.
Okay.
And I have groomed a lot of people who went to secondary schools and the rest.
Yes.
Ghana, unlike those days, we have rich people in this country who can take care of their children. People can take care of a whole lot of students, and it happened at our time. So education should not be free for everybody. You understand it?
Yes, sure.
There are poor people, and even at our time, we have various scholarship schemes. We have the Cocoa Marketing Board scholarship. If you are, you are from a poor home, you apply. The exam tells you that you are brilliant. You are needy.
Exactly.
You see, education is not for everybody.
Exactly.
You see, the education is not for the dandai.
Yes, I get your point.
Education, so that everybody should not be pushed into the system.
Exactly.
You understand it?
Exactly.
There must be way out. People who need that thing. I'm not saying that education is a right in a way. It's a right. But it must be judiciously sponsored with national asset. You understand it? At the moment, the thing is a complete burden on the nation. You see, and let me tell you, I am even afraid. I don't know who is in the next government, whether they can continue this in successive government.
I get your arguments very well, because
so if they need strategy, what I would suggest is that there must be gradual. I'm not saying they should cancel it outright, but there should be gradual phasing out with certain strategies, interventions here and there. That one, if they want it, then people will come around to suggest various ways of how this thing should be done, so that people will not feel the pinch of its withdrawal.
Yes. That is very good.
And at the moment, I said I'm talking as educationists.
Yes.
At our time, there are schools in this country. We call them grade A secondary schools. You yourself, you know that if you are not academically good, then you cannot enter those schools.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand it?
Yes.
Yes, and because of the facilities in those schools, so parents who have the resources, they always want their children to be there.
To be there, exactly.
You understand it?
Exactly.
So allow certain schools, the freedom for people to choose their schools and go. And those schools feel that they are poor.
Yes.
Then you draw up a program of assistance for them.
Good.
But this holistic sort of thing that everybody is going to secondary school and the rest, I didn't criticize. I only made suggestions.
Yeah, I even understand your argument, yes, because when the education is free, even those who are not very good academically are there, and it's like they are wasting the nation's resources somehow, and that is a fact. That is a fact. It's not like anybody is condemning anything. So I really understand your argument. And thank you very much.
And then to end this thing, there is something that I would like to put on this platform.
Okay.
You know, I am interested in politics somehow.
Yes.
Everybody is a political person.
Yes.
I understand our honorable president brought this on board because of the Northern Scholarship Scheme. You Ghanaians don't know anything about how the Northern Scholarship came into being. And actually, the free secondary school scheme that he brought about was to make everybody have free education, because certain sections of the population were enjoying this thing for some decades. You understand it?
Yes.
Yes. And you are a young intellectual. I have to give you some insight into that before you close this chapter.
Yes, sure.
The Northern Scholarship was a program by the colonial master, because when Northern region became a territory in 1902, the colonial
excuse me, is it a Northern scholarship?
The Northern Scholarship, I mean, free education was free in the north.
Okay, so it's the Northern Scholarship.
Yes.
Okay.
That's when you pass the entrance examination, you enter secondary school free.
Okay.
You are Northern, you are from the north.
Okay. I get that.
Mahama, John Mahama, and all of them had that Baumia, they all had that. You pass and you
Okay, and you said it was brought by the colonial master.
Then when Northern region became a territory of the Gold Coast, part of the Gold Coast in 1902. They realized that the education was actually non-existent or very poor. You understand? And the people were not willing to send their children to school because of the poverty. So the British Parliament made a grant. I understand it's about 30. I'm giving you some very historical fact. A grant of about £30 sterling for promotion of education in the north.
30,000 or 30,000 pounds.
British pounds. Those days.
But
this thing was lying on the file at Kwame Nkrumah became prime leader of the place. So when he came and he realized that the people were really poor, he implemented it. By then we didn't have secondary schools or this education like that. That's how they. But over the years, because of the political system of this party politics and the rest of the political system, who is going to cancel that? You cancel it, and then they will tell you, you tell the northern people that you cancel the northern, and then you will lose your vote. Dr. Hila Liman had that problem, and I happen to be on that committee. We discussed this, and that's why I'm trying to give you this insight.
Wow.
You see, so all governments or central government had that problem. It was time the North also should pay fees for their children, some of them. But the political will wasn't there. You see, so I agree to some extent that the free secondary school, senior secondary school, Nana Akufo-Addo brought in, is a strong political will that actually level everybody, level everything, level the field. Now, if it's going to be phased out, then everybody will not be responsible for his children and the rest. To one extent, this is what I see it. Because the Northern Scholarship, that program was a problem for all governments.
Wow.
So during the last campaign, you hear that Nana Akufo-Addo, the campaign, he said Mahama had free education. Bawumia had free education. All those stalwarts from the north, they have free education.
Okay.
So if he's implementing free education for people, why should people refuse?
Refuse, okay.
You know, that's a political reason.
Yeah.
You understand it? But
well.
there is a reason behind.
Yes.
You understand it?
Yes.
So if that might be the reason why he brought it about. To that extent, I agree.
But you know, as it is causing the economy,
the economy.
Yeah.
So if
I mean, there should be measures that
yes.
will level things
yes.
up. So that
I feel strongly that the free senior secondary school should be phased out gradually, so that it doesn't have effects on people who are benefiting now, and then it will take care of the future.
All right. Thank you very much for this interview. Yes. You know, thank you very much.
But the interview had been without preparation. You met me, and then
exactly.
That's my worry.
Exactly. Yeah. So you will have more subsequent information to our viewers. You know? Okay. All right. Thank you, cherished viewers. You heard it all. You know, we will have subsequent videos coming out. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, HistoLife TV. HistoLife TV. We have more of these contents coming your way. If you love history and you want to know much about Ghana and African history, this is the best channel for you. Consider subscribing. Follow us on our social media pages, HistoLife Ghana TV or HistoLife TV, and then meet you some other time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.